Hello cinema lovers, welcome back to Rogue Cinema. There are directors who make movies. There are directors who define generations. And then there is Christopher Nolan. Over the last 25 years, Nolan has transformed blockbuster filmmaking into an art form. From Memento challenging the very structure of storytelling to The Dark Knight redefining the superhero genre. From Inception making audience question reality to Interstellar blending science fiction with human emotion, from Dunkirk reinventing the war film, and to Oppenheimer proving that a 3-hour historical drama could become a global box office phenomena. Nolan has consistently pushed the boundaries of what cinema can achieve. His films aren't just watched, they are debated, analyzed, revisited, and celebrated. He has inspired an entire generation of filmmakers to think bigger, write smarter, and trust audience with complex storytelling. In an era dominated by franchises and formulas, Christopher Nolan became one of the few directors whose name alone could sell a film. This is an extraordinary achievement. Before proceeding further, we would appreciate your help and love by subscribing the channel and sharing this video with your friends and family. Now, after conquering science fiction, psychological thrillers, superhero epics, war drama, and historical cinema, Nolan turns his attention to one of the greatest stories ever written, the Odyssey, an epic that has inspired storytellers for nearly 3,000 years. A tale of war, survival, destiny, monsters, gods, and one man's relentless journey back home. The expectations couldn't be higher. So, does Christopher Nolan once again redefine cinema, or is this one voyage that doesn't quite reach its destination? Let's dive into the vital overview of the Odyssey. Direction. This is now the second time in a row, after Oppenheimer, that Christopher Nolan has chosen to adapt an existing literary masterpiece instead of creating an original screenplay. The Odyssey is undoubtedly among the finest directorial achievement of 2026. Nolan's keen eye for detail is once again on full display, with every long shot crafted so meticulously that the film never feels dull despite its runtime. The parallel storytelling between Odysseus' perilous journey across the sea and the event unfolding back in Ithaca is handled with remarkable precision. Nolan remains one of the greatest directors of our time, so expectations are naturally sky high. And while the Odyssey comes remarkably close, it doesn't quite break into the top tier of his filmography. The final act, though visually stunning, doesn't leave the same lasting impact as the climaxes of Inception, Interstellar, or The Dark Knight Rises. Acting. Anne Hathaway's character isn't explored much, but even with the limited screen time, she does complete justice to such a vital role. Zendaya barely gets any significant dialogue or memorable scene and is largely confined to brief, understated exchanges. Robert Pattinson is convincing despite having relatively few scenes and dialogues to work with. Charlize Theron looks absolutely ravishing and delivers a captivating performance through her expressive eyes and commanding body language. Tom Holland delivered a solid performance, but there's nothing particularly new or exceptional compared to what we have already seen throughout his filmography. Lastly, Matt Damon delivered the performance of a lifetime as Odysseus, bringing the legendary hero to life with humility, resilience, boundless curiosity, and unwavering devotion, making both his triumphs and flaws feel deeply human. Script, screenplay, and editing. While the story itself may not feel groundbreaking by today's standards, Nolan's pacing and non-linear storytelling are what truly set the adaptation apart. At its core, the Odyssey understands that this was never just a tale of a warrior returning home, but of a man struggling to rediscover himself after being transformed by war. The screenplay shines in many moments. However, not every creative decision lands equally well. Some sections feel more functional than emotionally impactful, and while certain encounters expand the world beautifully, they don't always deepen the narrative as much as they could. The episodic nature of the voyage also became noticeable at times. Editing a literary epic of this scale is not an easy task, and for the most part, the film maintained a strong rhythm despite its immense scope. Dialogue. The film strikes a fine balance between gradual build-ups to sweeping battle sequences, intimate moments of thoughtful dialogues, and carefully framed flashbacks. Together, they create a narrative that feels cohesive, emotionally engaging, and constantly immersive. Technical work, sound, and cinematography. The sound mixing is phenomenal, shaking the theater with every crack of thunder and resonating through the audience with every clash of steel. Clever use of reverb, echo, and silence transform the soundscape into a powerful storytelling device rather than just background noise. Ludwig Göransson's periodic appropriate score blend seamlessly into the film, adding authenticity and elevating both its most tender and suspenseful moments. Visually, the cinematography is breathtaking, favoring a grounded, tactical aesthetic over the polished perfection of modern blockbusters. The landscape, ships, oceans, rocky terrains, and even the human bodies feel raw, authentic, and lived in, giving the film a tangible sense of scale and emotional weight. Impact. Despite a wave of polarizing early reactions, it seems the Odyssey has ultimately won over both critics and audience alike. The film is already dominating the global box office and looks set to be one of the biggest contender at every major award ceremony next year. Altogether, building upon the legacy of one of history's greatest epics, Christopher Nolan delivered a film that stands as a testament to the limitless potential of cinema. Nearly every creative ambition is realized with remarkable precision, resulting in an epic that is both emotionally resonant and breathtaking in scale. The Odyssey is a cinematic spectacle that demands to be experienced on the biggest screen possible. Overall, we give 80% to the Odyssey and congratulate Christopher Nolan for bringing one of the literature's greatest epic to the big screen with breathtaking vision and masterful craftsmanship, and Matt Damon for delivering a career-defining performance as Odysseus, filled with humanity, resilience, and emotional depth. Grace us with your views in comment section and please support us by liking the video. And if you haven't subscribed the channel yet, you're probably never going to see us again. And if you have or you're going to, then you're welcome to the Rogue Cinema family. See you soon.